Namaste yogis. I'm here with a really quick flow into Galavasana or flying pigeon. It's going to be a little more intermediate. If you need a little more time to warm up, take 5 to 10 sun salutations before coming in. If you're a little more limber, or you've already been out in the gym, or you've gone for a run, this might be right up your alley. Take it at your pace, move in a way that makes sense to you, pause, mute me, however it is you need to get through it today. We'll go ahead and begin in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, just take a few moments to pedal out the body, to take note. And I say it a lot, but really listen to the stories that your body is writing today. Every day is a different story. Even though we have those thoughts that we play through in our mind every single day, our physical body tells the story differently. So look for tension, look for tightness, look for flexibility, look for openness. Try to discover where it is you are in space today, and then move as though that is the only story. Forget the flexibility and strength of yesterday. Forget the flexibility and strength of tomorrow, and instead tune in just to today, to this breath, to this moment, and let each movement be tied to a breath so that the entire class we're moving in the present. Bend the elbows just slightly. Start to float the right leg back behind you. Big inhale, roll forward, knee to chest plank. Step the right foot down in between the thumbs. Situate the hips here. So pull the left hip around. Right heel moves back without actually moving, just turning on the inner thighs. Inhale, hands come up overhead, and we're finding ourselves in our first, maybe high crescent of the day. So what I like to say in live classes is, if I were to come around and poke you in the butt, what would I feel? Is there activation there? Kind of rude, no? But is there activation there? Are you turned everything on? Bend the left knee just a little bit, point the tailbone down, let the hamstrings on the right side body turn up, and then press the left heel back. Very slowly, use an exhale to bring the arms back behind you, Baddha Hastasana, so braid the hands. Be mindful of which thumb's on top because we'll change it for the other side. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, start to dive forward, 45 degrees. So we're moving towards our humble high crescent, but that's a little bit different for all of us. So stay tuned into the foundation of the legs first. Legs are turned on. Then decide, do I bring my right shoulder to the right inside of my knee? If I feel my knee fall out too much to the right, like I'm moving towards lizard, I've gone too far. Stay where you can keep that knee hugged into the body. Some of you will kiss forehead to the mat. Some of you will stay at that 45 degrees wherever you are. Stay there and be contented with it. Be okay with it. It's where you're meant to be this morning, today's story. Shift your weight into your right leg. Step your left foot all the way behind it. Pinky toes line up. Pull right hip back. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, thumbs stay to the sacrum as you fold forward. Notice that if I lock out the elbows, my hands cannot come to my sacrum. So bend the elbows a little bit so that they can connect to sacrum. Turn your gaze towards your knees and then begin to lift the arms up with that soft bend. Try not to lock out the elbows here. Taking a big inhale, lift up halfway, and then exhale, fold. A little bit juicier into the body. On your next exhale, turn your chest towards the right edge of your mat. Let your thumbs fall towards the left. Try to bring that left shoulder a little bit closer to right knee. Inhale back to center. Release the chest all the way down. Let the thumbs just drop behind you. Take a moment to check into trapezius, those muscles on the top side of the shoulders on either side of the neck. Release them. Let them fall heavy towards the ears. Relax the clasp of the hands and start to pull the fingers apart from one another. And then turn trapezius on. Roll the shoulder blades back into the back body. Look down to the right, 6 inches in front of that right foot. Let your right hand connect, temple fingers onto the mat. Slowly shift your weight into that right leg as you lift the left leg up into Ardha Chandrasana. Let the left hand float up, chest moves towards the left edge of your mat. Right leg turns on a lot. Breathe. Next, inhale. Slowly pull that left knee into chest. Bend the right knee just a little bit. Inhale, rise. Knee to chest, Ekapada Tadasana, one-legged mountain. Wrap the left leg around the right as you swim right arm underneath left. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Squeeze and hold. Gaze out in front, pull the belly in. Squeeze the legs together a little bit more to get a little bit deeper into that bind. And then pull left knee into chest. Turn the body towards the left edge of the mat. Start to step that left leg back behind you nice and long. Straighten the right leg as you sink weight into that left hip. Skandasana with eagle arms. Flex the right toes if it's okay with the body and breathe. Press down through all four corners of the left foot. And then gently keep the arms bound for a little added work. Step forward, high lunge. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step the right foot back through plank, and we'll come into knees, chest, chin. So knees, chest, and chin. Step the knees in a little bit closer as though you're going to come into your locust. And then articulate the tailbone up really high. Tuck the toes really deeply. Breathe. Ground through the hands, press down and back with the feet to elevate. Keep the toes tucked in this upward facing dog. Draw the hips down, press up through the hands, bend the elbows a little bit. Keep the toes tucked as you roll back, downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, readjust the hands, make sure that they're connected on purpose. Bend the elbows, wrap the triceps into the body, turn on the side body, then straighten the arms. Bend the knees, chest comes to the thighs. Pick the tailbone up really high, then settle the heels down. Breathe. We'll do everything we just did on the left side. Inhale, left leg floats. Exhale, roll forward, knee to chest, you're in plank. Step the left foot down without lifting the hands. And then inhale, rise, high lunge. Situate your high lunge in the same way. Bend the right knee, turn the tailbone down, bend into that left knee. Pick the heart up, shoulders reach up, and then start to straighten the right leg. As you inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, take the hands back behind you, opposite thumb crosses. It'll likely be the one that doesn't feel natural. Stay here. Or inhale once more, lift the heart. Exhale, dive forward 45 degrees. Pull the rib cage in here. What happens is we flare the ribs forward. Ooh, look at my deep back bend. That's really not doing anything for us. We want to pull that in and get strong. I'm very, very guilty of that. So pull the rib cage in. Maybe stay here, start to test the water. If I go down, does my knee go out to compensate? Do I lose everything in the back leg? If I do, stay up. If I'm okay, bring the head towards the ankle. One day moving into our leg behind the head. Breathe here, squeeze here. Inhale slowly, lift halfway if your head is down to the mat. Shift your weight into your left foot, scissor inner thighs to step right foot behind left. Bend the elbows, take thumbs to the low back, and fold. As you fold, shake out the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, as you do, keep a bend in the elbows, let the arms travel overhead. Relax trapezius at first. Heels of the hands kiss together as much as possible. Inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze inner thighs together, move left hip back. Start to rotate right shoulder a little more towards left knee. Yes, I did have to look. Roll over. Gaze travels over the left shoulder. Use an inhale, return to center. Turn trapezius on, send the shoulder blades back down the body. Roll your gaze into your knee. Elevate your hands overhead. Shift shoulder blades down. And then pull the fingertips apart. Pull, pull, pull. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Beautiful. Wherever you are, start to unwind the fingers. Take the left hand 6 inches out in front to the left of that left foot. Pour weight into those fingertips. Elevate, belly in. Start to roll the right hip back. Toes point towards the right edge of your mat. Hips stack on top of one another. So left hip and right hip are there together. But now pay attention to these glutes. Left glute is going to say, I'm not doing anything. Right has to do it all. But we're not there. We want both glutes engaged. Rolling the hip open. Letting the heel press back behind us. Then we move towards the upper body. Maybe reaching right fingertips high. Pulling right shoulder into the back. Gently, slowly shifting towards our eagle. We'll bend the right knee, pull it into our underarm, bend left knee just a little bit. Start to pour ourselves into our one-legged mountain. Stretch up. As you do, start to straighten the left leg, pull belly in. Bend that left knee again as you wrap the right knee around the left, maybe peeking the toes behind the calf. This time, left arm finds its way underneath right. You can always stop at shoulders, or maybe bind all the way around. Pull the belly in, sink the hips a little bit more, squeeze arms and legs together on purpose. Breathe, smile. It's not as bad as it seems. Unwind the knees, right knee moves towards left elbow. Step the right foot back long, turn the toes towards the right edge of the mat. Left leg starts to straighten as you sink the hips nice and low. See if you can engage that right leg a little bit. So instead of just letting it fall out, press down with the right big toe mound to hug it into the body. Breathe here. Gently, slowly keep the bind, shift the weight up, toes revolve forward towards the front edge of the mat. We're in high lunge with eagle arms. And then unwrap the arms, frame the foot, step the left foot back with the right. Exhale as you chaturanga down this time. Hold here, breathe here. How hard could it possibly be? Smile. Inhale, roll forward, upward facing dog. From upward facing dog, bend the elbows just so, and then roll a little to the right. Roll a little to the left. And keep that up. Roll one way, and then the other. Finally, tucking the toes, pulling ourselves back, downward facing dog. We'll move through that first bit a little bit faster. We'll add on, maybe we'll fly our pigeon, and then we'll say so long. Quick video. Pull belly in. Exhale, lift right leg nice and high. Flutter the foot very high. So flutter, flutter, flutter. Then pull it through. Step the right foot in between the thumbs. Big inhale, rise, high lunge. As you exhale, braid the thumbs behind the back. Move forward, humble high lunge. Inhale as you draw the left leg in front of the right. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, settle the feet. Exhale, release the heels of the hand as you turn over your right shoulder, twist. Pull that left hip back. Left hand connects to the mat. Inhale, right fingertips float up simultaneously with right foot lifting. Gently, slowly start to pull right knee into chest. Inhale. Exhale, right leg over left. Left arm under right, eagle arms. Breathe. As you inhale, pull knee to chest. Exhale as you step it back, Skandasana. From Skandasana, roll forward right into Warrior One this time. So start to bend into that left knee. Bring warrior arms forward, eagle arms forward. Check in with that back foot. Try to point it towards the front right corner of the mat. Gently pull right hip around. Check in with that back knee. If it's okay, stay here. If it's not, you can always come onto the ball of the foot back into our high lunge. Wherever you're okay, be there and be okay. Inhale, a little fancy footwork as we step the left heel in line with the right arch. Reach through our Warrior Two. Breathe. Big inhale. We're going to settle here for a moment. Maybe straighten and bend that left knee. Playing with coming into the pose a little deeper than before. And then settle into Warrior Two. Swim the right arm forward, step the left foot hips distance apart, right foot hip distance apart from the left, and sink the hips down nice and low.
Pull belly in, reach arms up. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you're not quite ready for the flight today, and that's perfect. Stay here. If you want to get an IT band stretch, pull right knee into chest, land the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Hands move into heart center. You might stay here. It's a really great stretch. Feels amazing. If you're a runner and not quite ready to fly, I suggest bringing your chest down to your thigh. Bring your right hand to the mat. Left hand will come to the right foot, so you're making prayer. Lock the left elbow in place. Bend the left knee a little bit more. And then bump the right hip back and slightly up. Pull belly in. You'll start to feel that outer hip stretch go, whew, okay, I'm here. If you're here and you'd like to practice moving towards the flight, maybe you move first into toe stand. So hands are at heart center. Bend into that left knee, shift weight forward, come onto the ball of the left foot. Ooh, wobble a little bit, smile, find your balance. Maybe stay here, or you can take your hands down to the mat. Really important here that your left tricep act as a place to hook your right foot. So that connection of right foot and left tricep is everything. You want to hook it on there for dear life. You're going to sink the hips just enough that you can bring the right knee on top of the right tricep. Pour your weight forward. I like to slide my left foot back just a little bit to give myself more space. And then maybe you stay here, just practicing with that toe down. Maybe you hug left heel into the body. Maybe you extend it back behind you as you work in straightening into your Galavasana. Wherever you are, play with that for a few breaths. So maybe you simply try that figure 4 stretch. Left hand to right foot, right fingertips to the mat. Maybe you're here just sinking into that chair, working on range of motion into the hip. Or maybe, again, you're knocking right knee on right tricep, right foot on left tricep, pouring weight into the hands like you're in chaturanga, lifting the left leg, maybe shooting it back behind you, maybe not. Wherever you are, take a moment, be there, and then release the right foot down with the left, and just pedal that out here. Bend one knee and shift weight into the other hip. And then switch, bending the other knee, shifting weight into the other hip. And just back and forth you go. If you need a moment, pause, take a breath. If you are ready to continue on, hands to the mat, step back, move into plank. Maybe hang out in plank for a breath or two. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, pull back, down dog. And we'll be in down dog for 5 breaths. So if down dog feels more like child's pose to you, do child's pose. If it feels more like shavasana in between sides, take shavasana. Just be wherever you need to be for the next few breaths. When you're ready, lift the left leg up nice and high. Flutter the left leg. Lift on to the ball of the right leg and just simply flutter. Roll forward, knee to chest plank. Exhale, step through from your foundation. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, braid the thumbs behind the back the weird way. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold, humble warrior. If you're all the way down, inhale, halfway lift. Stepping right foot behind the left. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, separate the heels of the hands. Exhale, twist, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Release right hand down to the mat with an exhale. Situate the body. Big inhale, unroll the left chest. Then start to send that left leg back behind you, stacking left hip on top of right, pressing down through the whole of the right leg, then maybe shifting your gaze. Big inhale, gently rolling all the way back up into our eagle. Left crosses over right, right crosses under left. Inhale, breathe. On an exhale, unwind the legs, step the left leg back nice and long. Reach, reach, reach. Settle the hips down left. Flex the right toes. Inhale, round all the way to our warrior one with eagle arms. Step the left foot in as much as you need. Make sure that you have that heel to heel alignment. Settle the hips nice and low. Big inhale, fill up. As you exhale, open warrior two. Fancy footwork, heel to arch alignment here. Press down with the back foot strongly. Pull shoulder blades and belly in, and then we'll start to bend and flex that front knee. Settle here into our warrior two. Maybe close the eyes. Come back to that present moment. Right hand is in the future, left hand is in the past, but the whole of your being is centered in presence. Inhale, float the left arm forward, left foot steps up to meet right, sink the hips, you're in chair. I'm going to move to face you this time. Maybe it'll be a little bit clearer for some of you who have never practiced this before. Into our chair pose. Maybe we stay here. It's a really great place to practice. Or we can slide hands down into heart center, pick the left knee up, settle the ankle on top of the right thigh. We're in standing pigeon. Again, brilliant place to practice. Lots happening here. Maybe you stay here, you practice sinking really low to get the chest towards the thigh. This range of motion makes flying pigeon a lot easier in the future. So if you're here, stay here. If you need a little bit more, take your right hand to your right foot, left hand to the mat, knock the right elbow in. Sink the hips a little bit lower, bump the left hip up, and then shoot it back behind you. Be here, breathe here. If this is good, stay here. Maybe you practice that toe balance. Hands come into heart center. Gently, slowly coming down as low as you can, lifting the heel, balancing. Maybe staying here. Or you can bring your hands down to the mat. Bring left foot onto right tricep. Left knee onto left tricep. Wrap the heads of the arms in. Slide the leg back just a little bit. Look forward. Shift your weight forward. Pick your right foot up. Maybe extend it back behind you. But if you're here and you're lifted, that's a victory. Stay there. Play with that for a few moments. And when you are ready, you can pause the video as much as you need, or maybe you meet us right back into downward facing dog when you're ready. We'll all just wait for one another here in down dog. And from your down dog, be here as long as you need. And when you're ready, bend your knees. Bring forehead back to the mat. This time, make it a little more restorative than what we started with. Hands reach back behind you. Pause, breathe. Settling our breath and our heart. Next, inhale that comes around, just walk the hands out in front. Shift your weight towards your right hip. Take your feet a little ways away from the body. Curl your hands behind the knees, and we'll take a few rounds of seated cat-cow. So really root down with the feet. Big inhale, pull belly forward. Big exhale, pull heart back. We'll do that 2 more times. Pull belly forward, inhale. Pull back the heart back, exhale. 1 more time, inhale, float forward. Exhale, float back. When you're back as far as you can go, release your feet from the mat, roll onto your back. Hug your knees to the outside edge of your body, reach down for the outside edges of your feet. Situate yourself in happy baby. Move a little side to side, but much slower than we did for practice. Slow the heart down, slow the breath down. Bring the soles of the feet together. Braid the fingers underneath the edges of the feet. Pull feet in as you splay knees apart, coming into our lying Baddha Konasana, our lying cobbler's pose. But notice if you have a tendency to arch that tailbone towards the sky, can you iron out the low back? Yes, the feet will come further away from you. That's okay. That's what we want. We want nice long spine, knees falling away. Big inhale, fill up. Maybe exhale, let it go. Staying on our backs, release the hands, crossed left leg over right, reach down for the outside edges of the feet. And just flutter feet in using the arms. Just taking advantage of some of that outer hip stretching that we did. Letting us get a little bit deeper. And then finally, pull, hold. Gentle pull, more a gentle nudge in this direction than a forceful do this or else kind of thing. Unwind the legs, take right on top of left, and again, those gentle pulses. Hopefully you're feeling a little more open than when you stepped onto the mat. I am beyond sweaty. Hopefully you found a warm space to practice. Let that prana flow. I personally crank the air to 80 so that I can really get the feeling of being outside outside somewhere other than Florida. It's about 100 degrees outside, but of being outside to warm the muscles rather than being in that air-conditioned space. And then finally, hold, pull in, breathe, tailbone long, face soft. Unwind the legs, bring both feet up overhead. If hamstrings are really a tight space for us, maybe just hold on to the backs of the hamstrings. Press legs into hands, hands into legs, just getting that pulled there. Seasoned practitioners, you can hold on to the ankles, you can hold on to the feet. Whatever you need to point tailbone down and out, straighten the legs. Just feel one final stretch through the back side of the legs. And then hug knees in. Big proponent of rolling circles around the sacrum. There's so many intricate myofascial connections there that can really ruin our day if we don't pay attention to it. So circle in the other direction too. Knock knees together. Arms reach up overhead, toes lengthen out in front. Take any last shimmy or shake that you need in order to end practice in a way that's peaceful for you. Hands to low belly. Just breathe into that space. I encourage you to be here as long as you need to come back to grounding. Anytime we fly or think of flying, it can take us into a little bit of fear. But if we push past the fear and breathe into the present, into our body here in this safe space, we realize that we really were grounded the whole time. Some part of us remained connected to the earth, whether it was hands or feet.
There's that perfect adage, Matt says, that it will catch us should we fall. We are always grounded even if we fall those 2 or 3 inches. Face plants are an important part of the practice. They teach us where to engage so that it doesn't happen again. So whether you flew for the millionth time, hopped for the first time, practiced with me for the first time or the 100th time, a sincere thank you for trusting me with your practice. Stay here as long as you like. Come back to the world when you're ready. As always, it is a pleasure and a privilege to share sacred space with all of you. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.